NBC Montana Decision 2024 election coverage starts right now.
As we come in the air tonight with our live Decision 2024 coverage, Montana voters will lock in candidates for the general election. These races will not only have an impact on the state, but the country. Here's a look at election centers in Missoula, Hamilton, Butte, and Bozeman, where our NBC Montana crews are standing by bringing you team coverage of the Montana primary election. Tonight's results will set up the November races for close to a dozen statewide positions, plus U.S. House and Senate seats, the Montana legislature, and more. Jumping right into early unofficial results, here's a look at Montana's Republican primary for governor. Incumbent Greg Gianforte is seeking a second term in office. The Associated Press called this race for Gianforte shortly after polls close. Gianforte sending out a statement earlier today saying Montana needs to continue with strong, steady conservative leadership. On the Democratic ballot, the Associated Press called this contest for Ryan Bussey over Jim Hunt to challenge Gianforte in November.
One of the tenets of our campaign is that our action matches our rhetoric. And if we say we care about women's rights and women's health care rights, right to abortion being protected, you can bet we're going to fight like it.
Montana's U.S. Senate and House races could have national implications in November as both parties look to flip seats in those chambers. NBC Montana's Bowens West is live in the studio with a look at some of those races.
That's right, Laurel. Montana U.S. Senator Jon Tester's seat is considered one of a handful of potential toss-up races this fall. If enough of those seats flip, Republicans hope to gain control of the Senate. Now, the Associated Press called this race for Tester as he makes a run for another term in the U.S. Senate. He sent out the following statement on X, formerly known as Twitter, saying it's official. He's going up against Mitch McConnell's handpicked candidate, Tim Sheehy, for Montana's U.S. Senate seat, and he plans on winning. Now, on the Republican ticket, Tim Sheehy taking an early lead with the AP calling him the winner. Now, Sheehy released the following statement saying, America is at a crossroads and we need a new generation of leaders to save our country, adding that he looks forward to finally retiring the #1 recipient of lobbyist cash and pro-Biden liberal Jon Tester. A contested race on the Green Party ballot as well, with Robert Barb and Michael Downey both vying for a spot on the November ballot. Montana's 2 U.S. House seats are also seeing strong competition in the primaries. In District 1 on the west side of the state, Monica Trinnell is running unopposed on the Democratic ticket, hoping to unseat incumbent Republican Ryan Zinke. We talked to Trinnell tonight after polls closed to hear about her plans heading into the November election.
What I'm hearing from folks is housing, housing, and housing. And I have a plan. It's on my website. I will be focusing on that, working with public and private people across the district, everyone, young to old, urban, rural. That needs to be addressed in Western Montana, and I'm already getting to work doing that, and I will continue to work on that in Congress.
Laurel, I'll turn it back to you for a look at who Trinnell could face in November. Reporting live in studio, Bowen West, NBC Montana.
All right, thanks, Bowen. And taking a look at the Republican ballot for U.S. House District 1, Representative Ryan Zinke seeking another term, with the AP calling this race for Zinke over challenger Mary Tawn. Zinke posted this statement on X: "Thank you to Montana Republicans for trusting me to carry our flag in November. This race is about protecting our borders, our kids, our heritage, and our paychecks." And Libertarians Dennis Hayes and Ernie Noble are also looking for a spot on the November ballot. And here you can see Hayes bringing in 61% of the vote in an early lead for this race. Crowded primary fields on the eastern side of the state for U.S. House District 2. A whopping 9 candidates on the Republican ballot in that race. And here are the top 6, with the Associated Press calling this race for Troy Downing. 4 candidates are vying to be the Democratic contender. Early results show John Driscoll here is currently in the lead for this race. Remember, all of these results are unofficial until canvass, and numbers will be coming in all night as crews around the state worked to count the ballots. Our digital team is constantly updating our homepage with the latest results, so scan the QR code on your screen now or go to NBCMontana.com for up-to-the-minute vote tallies. Our primary coverage now continues with NBC Montana's Kylie Gibson. She's live at the Missoula Election Center with an update on how voter turnout is looking in Missoula County.
I'm Kylie Gibson. I'm here live at the Missoula County Election Center where polls closed just over 2 hours ago. And I'm here with Missoula County Elections Administrator Bradley Seaman. Bradley, what does voter turnout look like so far this election?
So we just crested over 30% voter turnout for this election. So we're running a little bit shorter than our 2022 primary election, but we're still getting ballots in and counted, processed through the system. So we're doing pretty good right now.
Okay, and what are numbers looking like so far?
So right now we've got in about 27,000 ballots that are posted on the Secretary of State's website, reported through, and we have just shy of 30,000 ballots that we've processed through the Secretary of State's database. We're scanning those in, and it takes a bit of time at this point in the night, but we'll continue processing them and posting them out to the website as we go throughout.
Okay, perfect. And then do you know when we'll expect the final numbers to be in?
So we're expecting final numbers for election night to be in tonight. We will have provisional ballots that will count next Monday, and then no election results are finalized until our canvass of election results and the state canvass as well. So that'll be later this month.
Perfect. Thanks so much for your time tonight, Bradley. And like always, NBC Montana is constantly updating numbers on air and online, so be sure to check us out at nbcmontana.com. Reporting live from the Election Center in Missoula, Kylie Gibson, NBC Montana. Back to you in the studio, Laurel.
All right, thanks, Kylie. The Missoula Fire Department is asking voters to approve a levy that would raise $7 million a year. Here's a look at early results for that measure, and voters currently appear to be voting for funding in this levy. The fire department earmarked the money for hiring 20 firefighters, for a 6-engine, permanent funding for the department's mobile support team, and to replace cardiac monitors for state-of-the-art equipment. The assistant fire chief says it's not uncommon for all of the equipment and personnel to be tied up on other calls when a new call comes in.
They're waiting for calls, or we're having an engine respond from across town to cover a call because other equipment is tied up at the same time.
If the levy passes, it would cost homeowners around $189 a year. NBC Montana Decision 2024 coverage continues tomorrow morning live at 5 a.m. And that's when you can also get up-to-the-minute election results and all your latest headlines. Be sure to join Heidi Meidley and Chief Meteorologist Brooke Foster starting at 5.